Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. And to all the assembled devotees, this is Megha from Naperville. And happy Ekadashi to everyone and to yourself, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Megha Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every single day and giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Happy Ekadashi to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvindaksha Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call. Nice to hear your voice again, Prabhuji. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Lincoln, wishing everyone a very happy Ekadashi.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association and all glories to your services. Happy Ekadashi to you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Happy Ekadashi to everyone.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shyama Gauri Devi Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Shyama Gauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hope you are feeling well, Mataji. Happy Ekadashi to you, Mataji.
Happy Ekadashi to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Assembled Devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every single day and giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every single day and giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. This is Kaumadi Dasi from Baltimore. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kamadiki Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for blessing all of us with your association. Welcome to the call.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Very beautiful smile. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Radha Pyari Devidasi from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam. My Dhanavad Pranam to you and to the all respected devotees of this divine group. Hare Krishna, this is Pooja Arora from Haridwar. Happy Ekadashi to all participants. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Puja Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every single day and giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Samik Rishi Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam 6th Canto, 9th chapter, 44 verse. Before I hand over the call, I request Aditi Mataji, please take over for the brief introduction.
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. I'm very pleased to introduce His Grace Samik Rishi Prabhu this morning, and we are very fortunate to have him in our midst today. So this is a brief introduction. His Grace Samik Rishi Prabhu is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and being a doctor by profession, he has done immense services to the devotee community and served the society by donating for lots of projects. For example, he donated the deities in Philadelphia temple, and he made 3,000 temple units that serve as an altar in the villages. He also served as temple president of ISKCON, New Jersey for 15 years. He is known for his simplicity and humility. He is now an initiating guru in ISKCON. Very fortunate to have him. Dandavat Pranam, Samik Rishi Prabhu ji. Over to you, Vinita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining and giving your valuable time and association this morning. Welcome to the call, Prabhu. Happy Ekadasi to you. Please take over the call. Prabhu, you on your video, but we couldn't see you, Prabhu.
Damodar?
Nope.
Jaldi.
We can't see him.
Yeah, I think he's calling someone to help him.
Yeah, one who knows about. There is no picture. She's saying that they cannot see. I unmuted them. We are trying to fix. So.
Sure, Prabhuji. We can wait.
He's joining.
Yeah, now we can see you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Well, my obeisances to all the devotees who are attending this conference call, Zoom meeting. And today's Ekadashi, so it's a very auspicious day. We'll be reading Srimad Bhagavatam. It's 10-6, chapter number 9. But before that, we will do some prayers. Om Pragyanti Mirandasya Karnanjanushalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Nama Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krapa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyate Adeshatarine Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day is coming, Gaur Purnima. So I will speak a little bit about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, tits and bits here and there. And also we will read Srimad Bhagavatam, this verse, the appearance of demon Vratrasur. A little bit history about Vratrasur because there are some new people. Maharaj Chitraketu. We are talking about almost Satyug. He had 10 million wives. He had to marry all these because none of them could produce a child, and they wanted to continue the progeny and who will take care of the kingdom. So he was very, very morose, or could not, his mind was not in his kingdom. So one time, two rishis, Narad Rishi and another person, they came to that and they saw the condition of the king. They asked, what is the problem? So he told that I have no child, please help me. They say that it's in your fate and your destiny, there is no child, but we will try to do something. And then they, by their mystic power, one of the wives, Kritadyuti, she became pregnant. She had conceived and there was a child. They said that child will be cause of your happiness, but also cause your suffering. And he thought, the king thought that, yes, some children may not be good, so let me just, but that's all right. It's better to have child without, even if he's making some mischiefs in the kingdom. Any children, they do that mischief. So somehow king's attention was all on the this queen Kritadyuti, who had given a birth to Harsha Shok. Harsha means happiness and Shok means distress. And now the other queens, the king was not going to them, talking with them, so they became jealous of this Kritadyuti and they poisoned the child, and child did not wake up in the morning, and their servant, she was just crying, was taking care of the child. He became blue from his stagnation of the blood in the veins, and so she started just crying, and whole kingdom was in the this distress, and they were what the destiny. Now at the old age, he is a child, and now he's gone. So anyway, he would not go to the kingdom to run, and it's like an anarchy. So what happened? Again, these rishis, they came, and Parvat Muni and Narad Rishi, and they came and they saw that. So they said that my son is still lying there. They did not even dispose his body or cremated him. So they said that he called the Narad Muni by his mystic power, called the soul. And then soul came, and soul is saying that, oh, you are saying that you are my father. But I had many fathers, millions of fathers in different lifetime. Whatever destiny, according to the destiny, I had to, in this body I was there, but now I have to really go to my place, and this is the happens. Whoever has taken birth has to die, and so now I'm going. That was only for 5 years that I was with you, and you were as my father. But our real father is Krishna, and he denied that you are really my father. I have some another father now. Just like before I came to your house, I had another before that. So there is these things, they happen. So he understood, and then he woke up because he was a devotee in the past life, and so he woke up and he started devotional service. And later on, he was given a plane that he could go to any place by the mercy of the Lord. And then he was going. So one time he was going to the Shiv Loka, where Lord Shiva, Kailash Parvat, and he was sitting with his wife on the lap, Mother Parvati, and then he commented on the lap, and with some rishis were there. He says that one who establishes the dharma, if he is just sitting in the public place, like with his wife sitting on the lap, is not good. And Parvati Mata could not tolerate this comment. And he immediately cursed him that you become a demon. So he had to take birth as a son, this Vratrasur became, so that is the topic, appearance of demon Vratrasur. And now he is fighting with he's a demon, so devotees. And then so much he was powerful that he will swallow all the weapons, and nothing, nobody could really check him. Even if he would throw some his mash, or his Eravar would go hundreds of meters backward. So let us just read this text number 44. Atho Isha Jahi Twastram Grasantam Bhuvanatrayam Grastani Yena Na Krishna Tejam Shastra Yudhani. Therefore, O Lord, O Supreme Controller, O Lord Krishna, please annihilate this dangerous demon Vratrasur, Twasta's son, who has already swallowed all our weapons, our paraphernalia for fighting, and our strength and influence. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mam duskritino mura prapadyante naradhama Maya paharta jnana asurim bhavam ashita chaturvidha bhajante mam janaha sukriti no arjuna artho artha jigyasur artharthi jnani cha bhartarshabha. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish. So 4 kinds of miscreants are described here. Grossly foolish, like an ass, that there is so much grass, but just for a little morsel of grass, he just works so hard day and night. Lowest among mankind, like those people who understand the philosophy, but still who do not want to take advantage of that, whose knowledge is stolen, like all the professors and scientists and teachers and their knowledge, they have the knowledge, but it has been stolen by Maya, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, like Ravan and Kumbhakar, and they have atheistic nature, although Ravan is a Pandit, and still he was a son of a Brahmin, but he had adopted the life of a Asura. So these kind of people do not surrender to me. Oh, best among the Bharatas, Arjun, 4 kinds of pious men render devotional service. So these 4 kinds of people, Artho, Arthatna, those 4 kinds is grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen, Maya Pratyajnana by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of the demons. And these 4 kinds, they surrender to the Lord. Distressed, the desirous of wealth, like Draupadi was in distress. The desire of wealth, people who want some wealth, they approach to the Supreme Lord inquisitive, and in inquisitive, and that is the Artho, that is distress. Jigyasur, one who is Jigyasu, inquisitive. Artharthi, one who is in searching for means wealth, and then one who is searching for the knowledge of the absolute. So these 4 kind of people, they surrender to the Supreme Lord. But that is part of some, it is not the full devotional service. This kind of surrendering is not really exactly what bhakti is. So we'll discuss about what bhakti is and how it should be done. The 4 classes of neophyte devotees who approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead to offer devotional service because of material motives are not pure devotees. But the advantage for such materialistic devotees is that they sometimes give up their material desires and become pure. When the demigods are utterly helpless, they approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead in grief and with tears in their eyes, praying to the Lord, and thus they become almost pure devotees. So all the demigods also not pure devotees. They are approaching because they are in distress. So they wanted to, Ardharthi, like Dhruv Maharaj, wanted more bigger kingdom from his great-grandfather, even Lord Brahma. So free from material desires. So, but they become these people when they approach to Krishna. Approaching Krishna, that is the advantage, that gradually they remove our attachment to the material things. They become attachment to, we are attached for our son, Vitteshana, Putreshana, like land. So all these things, wife, so Strishana. So free from material desire, admitting that they have forgotten pure devotional service because of extensive material opportunities, they fully surrender to the Lord, leaving to his consideration whether to maintain them or annihilate them. Such surrender is necessary. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Maribo Rakuba Jo Kichu Icha Tohar Arpilo Tuapade Nanda Kishore. Oh Lord, I fully surrender unto your lotus feet. Now, as you desire, you may protect me or annihilate me. You have the full right to do either protect or to annihilate. So these are the, so like we talked about Ravan, that how he was a Brahmin, he was very, very much knowledgeable. Even Lord Ramchandra sent his brother Lakshman to get some knowledge or learn from him. So there is just a little story that Ravan was not just Shiva Bhakta, he got, but also he was very knowledgeable, he was very veer, had a lot of fighting spirit, and also Ati Manav, he was more than any human being. He knew about what would be the future. He knew that Lord Ramchandra is the Supreme Lord, and to win from his is impossible. But now, before coming, like now they have come all the way, they found Sita, and they have and ocean is giving the way, but he wanted to establish Shivlinga, worship Shiv. You may say that why is worshipping Lord Shiva? Because Lord Ramchandra or any, they give so much importance to their devotees also. And he is the Vaishnava Nam, Yathashambhu, among all the Vaishnavas, he is the topmost. So he sent to this Jamwant to invite him for accepting to install Maheshwar Linga, Vedara. So he sent him that you go there. So he goes to the Lanka. Even Ravan came and he said that please come, because he is coming. And Ravan understood also. And he said that you are like my Pita, he is grandfather's, like Ravan's grandfather's brother. And then he is, you are our worshipable, please sit down. So those things are even in the demons, those are there. If somebody comes, then they offer them a seed, they offer them some food, sweet words. So this bridge has already been built. Now there was a need for Maheshwar Linga Vigraha ki Sthapana, to install the Ditya Rameshwar. And Hanuman went there to Kailash to bring the Shivling, but he was a little bit delayed. And so Ravan, Pulatsya, he was nearby, there at the bank of the Lanka, so they invited Ravan to install these deities. So before going, he said that I am going alone. So what happened, like this Lakshman, he is sitting, and then he has already that, he took it out and Pashupatastra, that if he creates any problem in coming back, then tell him that Lakshman has already his arrow that will finish you with all the demons, Pashupatastra. And there is only like Lakshman, and even Meghnad could not take that. So Jamwant, Lord Ram came, and he had to bring, as a priest, he had to bring everything, whatever is not there. So he thought that I have to bring back Sita back to Lord Ramchandra's place, and then I will bring her back. So he went there and he asked Sita Devi that without Ardhangini, then all the procedure, it would not, I cannot become the priest. And she agreed that yes, I will come and I will come back. So Lord, he puts him on the Pushpak Viman, Sita Devi, she's sitting, he goes there, and then he said that you are Ardha Yajman, you are not a full Yajman, and then the Acharya. So they did all the rituals, Kalash Sthapana, Ganpati Pujan, Navagraha Pujan, and Linga Vidranka. Where is the ling? Shivling is not there. Then Sita Devi herself made Yajman Patnipal with the sand. So by her own lotus hand, she took the sand of all the ocean sand, and then it was becoming. And then Hanumanji came, but he said that could, now it has already been installed, we cannot do that. So Ravan, it is like after all this installation, Lord Ramchandra asked that what kind of I should give Acharya Dakshina, because without Dakshina, when you invite some devotee, there has to be some Dakshina. So Dakshina, and he said that only one thing, that that at the time of death, when I am in the Mrityu Shaya, I'm lying down, then you should be present before me. And Lord Ramchandra said, Raghugula Riti Sada Chali Aayi, Prana Jayi, Vachana Na Jayi. So he was there at that time. So this is that even Lord Ramchandra respected Ravan and brought him back. And about now say that I take away the pure devotional service. So Krishna just say that Artharthi, that we become. So I will tell you certain stories about that, how Krishna takes away, like there is a verses that if somebody is attached to wealth, I take it away. Yashyaham anugrannami harishye tadhanam shanahi tato adhanam just swajana dukha dukhitam. That is also true. If Krishna takes away something, that is also his mercy. But most of the people think that if he become very opulent, very rich, so many followers, so many, I could enjoy. But then either you enjoy the material world or Krishna. It does not happen with everybody. Means people who they may have, like he gave well to many people, like Pracheta Ganga, Sudama. Sudama was attached to not having any, like that I am Nishkinchana. So he was a little bit proud about becoming Nishkinchana, or without any, I don't ask anybody. He did not ask Krishna when he went to Dwarka. But then Krishna gave him so much, because he gave more than the chipped rice he did not have. And he took it and he gave it to Krishna. So Krishna accepts even the cheapest thing or whatever it is. He sees the heart, that what is in your heart, that is what he sees. So one time, this Dhanharan, that is also a Kripa, that is, so Krishna is saying, people who worship other demigods or something, then they are foolish people, because that does not last more than after that life. That may be beneficial, but after that, there is no benefit of that. So one time in Vrindavan at Jagannath Ghat, there was one Surdas, means blind man, and he was doing Mansik Jap, Radha Krishna, that Radhaji and Shyam Sundar Pritama, both came. And so Shyam Sundar said, do not go to this Surdas Baba. He is a madman. And then Priyaji, that is Radharani, saying, why? Why he does not look like a foolish man? He's very simple, simple-hearted. But Krishna said, Hari Bhori, I am telling you the truth. Do not go. So what happened? So Priyaji, she went there to this Surdas, who was blind, but he was chanting the holy name of the Lord. The Surdas, he got hold of the leg of Srimati Radharani, and she was trying to get out. Then Radharani's pile left in the hand of this Surdas in this China Jakti mein. So then she said, give me my pile. And he said that, give me your darshan, then only I will be able to give you. So Priya Pritam, they gave him the special eyes to see him, Yugal Roop. Then they gave the, so then she asked again, that give me my pile again. And Surdas Wala, I would not give you your pile. And so Radharani is saying that what kind of kapti, dogla or duplicitous you are now. So he said that, fulfill my one desire, make me blind again. You must be the foolish man that people want their eyes and they want to see, but he wants to be, because inside he could visit the Yugal Roop all the time and chant with the eye. You see so many material things and you become entangled with that. So that is kind of ananya, nothing else other than Krishna Bhakti. So that's why Krishna says that sometimes the people are so much attached to the wealth, then he gradually takes away this. So dhan, istri, putra. With teshna, putreshna, and istri, eshna. Eshna means a desire. That how much is Mahabharata, land also. In India, they call it Jar, Joru, Jameen. Jar, Joru, and Jameen. Jameen is the, Jar means the wealth. So Mahabharata also was happened because of the Duryodhan said that I would not give so much land which is set on the point of a needle. So in this way, so sometime this Nirdhanatva Maharogo Madano Anugraha Lakshanam. So one time this Naraji and Krishna are going, and they were sadhu, and then they went to the one big man, big merchant, and he was counting his money, and millions of rupees were lying in front of him. And they said that Bhikshandehi, that is Narad Muni and Lord Krishna. And he said that, why don't you are a young man, why don't you work and eat with your own earning? And so Narad Muni and he just scolded them, did not give any place to sit or nothing, no respect, nothing. So then Krishna told him that your wealth increased 4 times. And Narad Muni said that he's not even doing anything, not even going a rupee. But why Krishna has done that? Then they go to the old lady, who was very, very poor. And then when Krishna, they went, these two, in form of a devotee, they go to the house of the old lady. And old lady gave a little bed, little place that you come. She respected them. And then she made some parmanna, that is a kheer, sweet rice. And then he gave it to both the people, both these devotees. Then Krishna gave that, that Maya, teri gaiya mar jaye, because of the cow, because she was attached to the cow. She was providing some milk. So Narad Muni could not understand it. To the wealthy man, he gave that your wealth increased 4 times. And to this lady, and who is so nice, devoted, so Lord Krishna explained that you do not know my plan. This set is a worm for the wealth, and then he will be in this Ninyanve Chakra, and his whole life would be gone. But this lady, now her attachment would be only for my name, for me. She will only see me, and that's why I took away her cow. Although cow may be there, but that to give the milk, and milk she could have offered, but her attention was on the cow also, 50%. So that way Krishna takes away this this wealth also. And so about this dham, Navadvip dham, and Navadvip dham is not different. Because why it is Navadvip dham? Because it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day is coming. So we will discuss a little bit about this Navadvip dham. So there are the rivers, they come in different rivers, and because of this there are nine islands are made. So that is called Gauradham, Mahavadana, Gaurabhumi, Navadvip. Nine islands are there. So without the mercy, even one cannot, without the mercy of Navadvip Dham, we cannot even enter into Vrindavan also. We cannot see that. And we can. Navadvip Vrindavan hai ek tattva, paraspar kichu nahi, hinatva mahatva. So there is this Jagannath Das Babaji, that how it is one and the same, one cannot see. So one time some rich man went to Jagannath Das Babaji, who was living in Navadvip. He used to live in Vrindavan before. So Srinath Rai was a Jamindar and very, very famous. So he wanted to see Jagannath Das Babaji. So Jagannath, so he said, is there any Siddha Baba here? But this Babaji said that I don't know any another Baba, neither anybody. Siddha, I just live here and I'm just an ordinary Jiva. And but he said to Maharaj that please show me some astonishment. And then he said that I do not know. But then Jagannath Das Babaji took a stick and then he was beating to the earth. Then he became very angry that what Babaji is doing, he's beating, I must have done something aparad to this Babaji. But Babaji said that I'm not angry with you, but there is one goat is eating some at Loknath Goswami's kutia, some tulsi plant. She's eating that, and then Rai, this Jamindar, became very much astonished, and then he sent a telegram. At that time, telegram, that's 500 years ago we are talking about. So he said that yes, he sent that, and then the reply came that yes, there was a goat at Loknath Goswami's hut, and then she was damaging and that's why Babaji was hitting the goat and he could remove her. So Vrindavan Dham, it is very difficult to obtain Vrindavan Dham, but Navadvip Dham is very, very merciful, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if somebody has, just like a doctor gives a stronger medicine to one who is suffering more severely, then Navadvip Dham is Amog Leela, Amog Nam, Amog Astra. So there are Amog means yes, you can get, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this place because it is top of all the tirthas, and all the tirtha which are there in Vrindavan are there also, but they do not accept any aparad. Like in Vrindavan, if you do some aparad, there is then you have to suffer. But in Navadvip Dham, there's been, it is, the Dham is Dhanya, Gauda Mandal. One whoever lives there is a very, very fortunate person, and they develop Krishna Priti or Krishna Rati. Even if you walk one step on Navadvip Dham, then it is like a Ashwamekh, Koti Ashwamekh Yajna. Shata Varsha Sapta Tirthe Mile Yaha Bhai, Navadvipe Ek Ratra Vase Taha Pai. That even 100 years you live in some 7 other dhams. That is, other dhams are Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, that is Haridwar, Kashi, Kanchi, Avantika, that is Ujjain, and Dwarka. Even 100 years, and only one night you sleep in Navadvip Dham, you get that same benefit existing for 100 years. And these 9 islands that you know, and there are 9 types of devotional services. Now Anga. So starting with Shravana. So Simanta Dweep, that is for Shravan, Godrum Dweep, Madhya Dweep, Kola Dweep, Ritu Dweep, that is for Archana, Jannu Dweep for Vandana, Godrum Dweep, Rudra Dweep, and Antar Dweep. So there is no difference between Vrajadham and this our Vrajadham as well as Navadvip Dham. One can go. I was just recently Mayapur. I went for ILS, and so we toured all the nine islands. By Krishna's mercy, it was arranged very nicely, and we could see within one day what people do in 9 days or 7 days parikrama. You could do in one day also with the rickshaw, electric rickshaw. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation is like a Channa avatar. Channa means hidden. Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hides himself? Means he is Krishna. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishna Sangopangasta Bharshatam Yagya Sankirtana Praye Yajanti Sumedasa. People who are with good intelligence, they worship this incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like there are different incarnations. So it is called Triyugi. Triyugi means why Triyugi? Because this incarnation did not come as God himself. He came hidden form. And Tvisha Akrishna, that he is not Krishna, not blackish color, complexion, not Krishna, but he is followed by many, many devotees. So loving affairs of Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestation of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, but they were separated before. But now they both have come in one form. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the supreme personality of Godhead, but he is hidden, covered. Chanda means hidden or covered incarnation, covered avatar, because he came as a devotee. He is his own devotee. He did not come like as an incarnation comes. Like many magnanimous avatars, they come and they are God from the very beginning, means Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is God, even from his childhood. But people could not understand him very clearly. But he is teaching Krishna consciousness by practicing himself. And at the most, his weapon was Kirtan, Krishna's holy names. So Krishna came as tortoise or many other incarnations, but in this age of Kali, he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to distribute love of Godhead without any qualification. Like somebody is sick, and they go to they have pain in the abdomen and legs, and then they go to the doctor, and doctor gives you, and you become very much obliged, although you are paying a big fees, but you are become very much obliged to the doctor that he cured me. But beyond that, so the more one, like you go to the demigods, they give you so much wealth and other things and so much strength, and so one may go to demigods and they may get that and they become to the demigods, but they cannot give you mukti or freedom from this material world. Or so even if you go higher, that you may get freedom from the this material existence, and still there is much more, many things higher. Like people go to Vaikuntha Loka by worshipping Lord Vishnu, you may get. Savya Mukti, that is not even taken consideration because you want to merge with the Krishna, and there is no such merging. This term is really misnomer. Sayujya Mukti, there are 5 kinds of Mukti. Sayujya, Samipya, you live near Krishna. Sarupya, you have the same form. Like Vishnu Dutas, or when you go to the Vaikuntha Loka, your form is the same, like Lord Vishnu or Narayan. So Samipya, Sayujya, Sarthi is the same opulences. And then you are very close to Krishna, Samipya. You live close to, like your chair is next to the Supreme Lord. But those cannot satisfy our heart. Even all these 5 muktis cannot satisfy, because we are primarily meant for our real place, and real father is Krishna. Aham bija pradapita. So we belong to the Golok Vrindavan. And unless we obtain that, although there is so much opulence and you could live in Vaikuntha planet as long as you want, and there is no difference between Krishna and Narayan, form of the Lord. Krishna comes as Narayan, but there is much more. Krishna has much more sweetness than even the Vaikuntha Loka. That he has Venu Madhuri, that is sweetness of his flute, and that attracts all the living beings. Venu Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, he is the most beautiful. Even Lord Vishnu wants to see him, and that's why he did a Leela by killing so many children of a Brahmana in Dwarka. Then Krishna goes with Arjun to this like a island where Mahavishnu is there, and that place is where he is lying down. In this way, Mahavishnu says that I did this by bringing all the children of a Brahmana, that you will come. I did that from Dwarka's Brahman. So he comes there, Karanodakshai Vishnu, he is lying there, Karana ocean, causal ocean. That is the cause of our birth, is in this causal ocean. Mahavishnu lies down, and from his breathing and hair pores, all the Jiva souls they come. But our real position, we are meant to be in Golok Vrindavan and with Krishna. And so that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is bringing. Krishna Prema Pradayate. There are 4 kinds of, one can become a friend of Krishna, one can become, so that is one way. And secondly, you could become Das, servitorship. Then you could become father of Krishna, you could become Presi or Madhuri Ras. These all 4 rasas are there. Now you may say, what about awe and reverence, neutrality? But Krishna does not like that because he wants certain relationship. We are meant for relationship. We cannot remain just alone. And so that is there in Vaikuntha Loka with awe and reverence. 400 form, like even Devaki, when he came, he was born as a Vasudeva and Vasudev. So he was born as a Vasudev, son of Vasudev, with 400 form, with all the clothing, and Shankha Chakra Gadapano was there. But Devaki requested that, please become a little child, so I could have some loving relationship. Krishna comes in the form of a human being to have a relationship with his children, and the topmost form is the human form. And only by devotional service you can understand these things. So Advaita Acharya, he felt sorry for this conditioned soul, and he worshipped the Shalagram Shila about 52 years before advent of Lord Chaitanya. And he brought it, only Krishna could give this love of God, because that is not there even in that prem, that is not there even in the Vaikuntha Loka, which is there in Navadvip Dham, and by worshipping Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had different reasons. So we'll talk about what was the reasons of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance in this Golok Dham. So there is, this is from a little bit summary study of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And that is this study is like a postgraduate study. Means a foundational study is Bhagavad Gita. This graduate study is Srimad Bhagavatam, and postgraduate study or PhD is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Why? That is that we understand the mind of Krishna by Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we understand activities of Krishna by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And Bhagavad Gita, that is word of Krishna, and we know about Krishna and our relationship with him, and Sambandha, Videya, Prayojan, everything. But at the end, It begins that we are not the body, this Bhagavad Gita, but we are the eternal spirit soul. And then at the end, Krishna just said that you sarva dharman parityajya mamekam shranam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami masucha. That abandon all varieties of religion and just surrendering. And surrender to Krishna wholeheartedly, not having surrender to something of the material world, but surrender to Krishna completely. And then the Srimad Bhagavatam that begins with all the cheating religion, dharma projita kaitavatra parmo nirmat saranam satam, that you reject all this cheating religion and get to the essence of bhakti. And then it ends with the chanting the holy name of the, that is the means to destroy all sinful reaction. And then this Chaitanya Charitamrita that contains this process and practice of devotional service. How to, what is the process and how to practice this? Sadhya, sadhan, nirnay. Sadhya means our goal, and sadhan means the process of devotional service. It begins with that I will come to teach the process of chanting, the practice of myself. So he was practicing chanting, and that is the chanting is both sadhya and sadhan. It is sadhan also, and our goal is also to more chanting. So Chaitanya Charitamrita that ends forgot himself throughout the entire day and night, being merged into the ocean of ecstatic love of Krishna. That is, so Prabhupada said that please read my books and very carefully. First Bhagavad Gita, then Srimad Bhagavatam, then Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that should be read every day without fail and become fixed in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness that is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is when, like, there are three Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, and Antya Lila. Adi Lila, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in this earthly planet for 48 years, and out of which from up to 24, up to his taking sannyas, that was his household life. When he took sannyas, that is the part after the sannyas, that is the Madhya and Antya Lila. But out of this Antya Lila, so 24 years he was as a household, childhood and his household life. That is Adi Lila. Then Madhya Lila, that he was traveling and preaching from 24 to 30 years. He went to South India, he went to Vrindavan. So this 6 years he was traveling. That is part of the Madhya Lila. And Antya Lila is from 31 years to 48 years, that he stayed constantly at Jagannath Puri, and that is the part of the Antya Lila. And Krishnadas Kaviraja's most description is from in the Antya Lila, and because Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote about Chaitanya Bhagavat, and then devotees requested that they do not know about the pastime, and please narrate Chaitanya Charitamrita. And so he stayed with devotees for 6 years, from 30 to 36 years. He was inviting for Rath Yatra devotees. So he was associating with the devotees and their relationship. And then 36 to 48 years, he was in transcendental madness about love of Godhead. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is the topmost work of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and he heard from his Guru Raghunath Das Goswami, because Raghunath Das Goswami was in Navdeep also, and then he came to Jagannath Puri also. So he narrated him everything. He was very close associate. And so Raghunath Das Goswami, and also this devotee who was always with Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is on secretary, Swarup Damodar. So Swarup Damodar observed everything, and he narrated that to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. In this way, so Adi Lila starts with blessings and Chaitanya. Adi Lila, there are verses about glorifying Mangala Charan, and that is break. So Mangala Charan is there, and that talks about different prayers and glorification of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then the so many people, they paint the picture of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a great saint of the 16th century. Even in Encyclopedia Britannica, that also talks that document that Sri Chaitanya is a charismatic Hindu preacher who popularized this practice of congregational chanting. There is, however, no mention of his supreme identity. But with the Vedic tradition, we understand with the Vedas, his Chanda avatar, as we talked about, secret incarnation, but his main purpose was this Nam Sankirtan, process of Nam Sankirtan. But he has his own in Chaitanya, there is scriptural evidences are there, and then astrological attributes are there, that his markings, like Krishna has his special markings. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also has these markings in his lotus feet and the hands, and the authorities, they also accept him as the astrological, the predictions are confirmed by acharyas, great spiritual preceptors, and they accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his extraordinary activity. Incarnations of the Lord perform extraordinary activities while on this planet, and most wondrous act is upliftment and spiritual reform that they instigate. They transform the life of those whomever they meet, leave behind invaluable instruction and a religious process for generations to come. So one time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is walking, and then he left the main path and went to a dhobi, and dhobi was washing the clothes. So Dhobi said that, what do you want? You want some cloth, something, or you want I could wash your clothes, or how I can serve you? He says, no, just please chant the holy name. He caught hold of his hand, and then both of these Dhobi, washermen and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are dancing. And so much just by his touch and by his seeing, this Dhobi started, he became like a madman. He gave up his working and just dancing in ecstasy, and all the Astasattvic Bhav. Astasattvic Bhav means Premashu, the hair stands on the hand, your throat gets choked up, you can't speak, you don't understand where you are. It's a transcendental madness. And then his wife brought Madhukari, not Madhukari, she brought his lunch, and he saw her husband like this. What happened to my husband? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched him and left. And then this wife comes, and then she said that, please take your lunch. He would not listen. Then she called many, so she caught hold of the hand and she started dancing. Then other people, they were around, they all came, and whomever they saw, this Dhobi and his wife, and they all became devotees, and they are all dancing in ecstasy, and then tears were rolling down their eyes. So wherever this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, he made everybody devotees. Even the animals, they will in Jharkhand, that you heard, that they will also sing and stand on their hind legs and chant the holy name of the Lord. They forget about their animosity, like a tiger and deer and others. They are param shatru, but still, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked them dance, chant, and they started chanting the human voice, because he has such potency. And so this external reason that he came to preach the cult of Krishna consciousness, but there are internal reasons, and those internal reasons, just in short, that she delights in the Srimati Radharani. She becomes so much happy and serving Krishna. She serves Krishna. But Krishna does not understand why she's serving, giving up everything, and she's serving because of his sweetness. So Krishna could not understand his own sweetness of Krishna. What is his qualities? Why he is sweet? Because like a sugar candy cannot enjoy how much sweet is there in this mystery or sugar candy. So mystery has to come as a one who is eating the mystery, and then only one can realize. So Krishna did not know the position of Srimati Radharani, could not understand his own sweetness, Madhurya, and her service attitude and happiness, that how she becomes very happy of a pure devotee. Experience the happiness of a pure devotee, that how she feels happy. Devotees, they feel so much ecstasy and happiness in serving Krishna, serving devotees. So for these three reasons, this internal reason, he could not get it through by becoming Krishna himself. He has to come in the form of Srimati Radharani. Antar Krishna, Bahir Radha. So Baha outside. So she has to take the bhav, feeling, emotions of Srimati Radharani. So just like a military man, when you wear, even an ordinary man, if he wears a military clothing, he feels, yes, I am a military man, I can protect. So he feels very happy in doing this, and he will act like this. So feeling comes automatically by the dress. So he took the dress of Srimati Radha, a golden dress, golden avatar, Chanda avatar. So outside is Srimati Radharani and inside is Krishna. And there are 5 things, Panchatattva. Panchatattvarmakam Krishnam, Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam, Bhaktavataram, Bhaktakyam, Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Bhakta Rupa. That is the original form of Godhead, that is the Bhakta Rupa. Then there is Nityananda Prabhu. He is Bhakta Swarupakam, his Swarup, expansion. Swarup, that is an expansion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is Nityananda Prabhu, who is his elder brother. There is a 12 years difference between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Between Advaitacharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is 52 years of difference. So Chaitanya Advaitacharya Prabhu is Bhakta Avataram, Bhakta Avatar, incarnation of a devotee. So Advaitacharya Prabhu is Sadashiv and Mahavishnu, both together. They embrace each together, and that's where that both form they come, they become his Advaitacharya. And he saw the degraded condition of the Kali Yuga Jivas, and he said that without Krishna praying, which was not given in so many millions of years, let me ask Krishna to come and take incarnation or come here. And so you may say, why Krishna could not do it? Advaitacharya himself is Mahavishnu and Sadashiv together. He could also give it. No, the Krishna prem, that is only by Krishna himself. He distributed it. That Anarpitam Charim Chirad, that for a long, long time I have not given this Vraja Prem. So he gave this Vraja Prem, which is practiced by the Vrajvasis. Aradhyo Bhagwan Vrajeshtanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadhu Vargenaya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Kumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradaro Napara. There is nothing superior than this Vraja Prem. And that's what we are all hankering, because we are originally from Vraja. So Nityananda Prabhu, he is an expansion of a devotee. He is not different than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but his mood is his service. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted his elder brother, but he will worship Nityananda Prabhu. So Advaitacharya, Bhakta Avataram, is incarnation of a devotee. Is also a Vishnu Tattva. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu deeply respected Advaitacharya, since the Acharya was his his god brother Ishwar Puri. Ishwar Puri, he took initiation from Ishwar Puri, and his god brother is Advaitacharya. They both took initiation from Madhavendra Puri, means Ishwar Puri and Advaitacharya Prabhu. So that's why he, to his guru's god brother, he respected him as his own guru. But naturally, Advaitacharya is subordinate because he comes from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the caste Krishna, and he expands his Mahavishnu. Advaitacharya is that, but he will accept, but because he understands his subordinated position. And he understood Advaitacharya, his divinity, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna himself, his worshipable Lord. This Gadadhar Pandit, he is Bhakta Shakti, devotional energy. Shakti, like Shakti and Shaktiman. Shakti, Radharani is the Shakti, the transcendent. So she is the Gadadhar Pandit is a manifestation of Srimati Radharani. And then, so when Krishna assumes the position of Radharani, she becomes to watch how he does it. So the Gadadhar Pandit is identified as Shakti, Shakti Tattva, the internal pleasure potency of the Lord. The strikingly beautiful Gadadhar was a close childhood companion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who lived very close to the house of Jagannath Mishra. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri, he also went there. And then he will read Srimad Bhagavatam to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That was in Tota Gopinath. There is a Gopinath temple. Tota is a place, a garden, and that is called Tota. And then Gopinath is there, the Gopinath Vigra is there. And so he was reading, and so much tears would come while reading out of love for Krishna, that the book became completely that he was not unable to read, but it was all on the Talpatra. The written messages was there on Talpatra, and they could not even find other copy. And he will feed, there was some tamarind trees, lot of tamarind trees there, and so he will make some tamarind trees chutney, and Gadadhar Pandit. And then along with some bati they offer to Krishna, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also used to relish those two simple preparations. Krishna needs the heart, not your opulences, not what you have. He owns everything. So it should be given by heart, then Krishna accepts it. And Gadadhar Jan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to Vrindavan, then Gadadhar Pandit could not live without him. He is his worshipable Lord. His Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani. How she could live alone without Krishna? But somehow they said that he took a sannyas, like Kshetra sannyas. Kshetra sannyas means you live in the same place, you don't leave the place. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then ultimately had to ask that you allow me, you want my happiness, then my happiness would be that you go back to Tota Gopinath. At the end of his Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu separated himself in two forms. One form was merged with Tota Gopinath, and one form was merged with Lord Jagannath. So he disappeared completely. He did not leave his body or anything. And this one time, when Gadadhar Pandit was becoming old, he could not like stand up and put garland on Gopinath. So he requested to please bend down. And he was so half position sitting, you could still see, and you could see a crack in the leg of Gopinath, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered in his body to Jagannath Ji and Gopinath Ji. And Srivas Thakur is a Bhaktakyam. These five people, they inundated the whole world, like wherever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, they all accepted, they all became devotees, more so in South India and also in Vrindavan and many places that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went. So these five personalities, they joined forces in Navadvip, and their influence was incredible. Panchatattva. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Surubhakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. So their spiritual potency was, you cannot really. So they broke the treasure house of the love of God, divine love. They experienced, they relished, and they distribute. Literally distributed it without discrimination. Whoever, with hands uplifted and eyes upturned, they chanted, danced, laughed, and exhibited unbounded spiritual happiness. They were able to touch the hearts of the even unwilling and averse people as if by divine spell, causing miraculous transformation in everyone they met. This transcendental epidemic of divine love became highly contagious and effortlessly spread in all directions through the empowered representatives of Sri Chaitanya. And still, but still there were some people who were skeptical. They would not take that. So the impersonalist renunciation of, like renunciation of Varanasi, headed by Prakashananda. There were 10,000 disciples of Prakashananda Saraswati, and very, very stubborn. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there. He was staying in the house of Tapan Mishra. They were all, these Mayavadis, they are all fanatical, emotional, sentimental, and Chaitanya was indifferent to their comments. They were saying that what is you should come and read Vedanta Sutra or study the Vedanta, and why you are just like a sentimental person. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that my Guru taught me that I am a foolish man. I cannot understand. So he asked me to chant. And what miracle is there in chanting? That all this Asta Sattvic Bhava are coming, and I become so much ecstatic and I start dancing. So he said that it is all by the mercy of my Guru and this holy name, what is there in that holy name. Same effect of this holy name is there. So some of the followers, they asked that what is the goal of life? And Prabhupada was emphatically telling to enjoy. The reporter was asking. And then Prabhupada further clarified that you have to know how to enjoy. The Panchatattva exhibited this blissful life of spiritual immersion on the streets of Navadvip. While strictness, regulation, austerity are surely necessary, the emphasis of Bhakti Yoga is on achieving the higher test. Spiritual life is natural and joyful because our soul is Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Kabunay Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karayodaya. That our Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem is is eternally there because we are part of Krishna. Being part of Krishna, everybody has that, but it is covered. And we have to do by chanting and by following the practice. Then it becomes uncovered and we are know our real self, who we are. And the singing, dancing, emotion does not render a bhakti yogi incapable of serious philosophical thinking. The devotee's deep understanding and apprehension of reality that spontaneously moves his heart and mind towards Krishna. Like Chaitanya, Krishna's, Srila Prabhupada said that you can't chant Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. But there is a special, this Hare Krishna mantra is special and you could chant all day and night. Haridas Thakur used to chant 22 hours out of the 24 hours. So, song and dance, these are the most powerful form of emotional expression. That is the integral part of the spiritual experience. We use this medium to express our deepest feelings in the relationship of this heart. Even the children, young children, when they chant and they start dancing, that is natural there. So why not in the ultimate relationship with God? Bhakti yoga may externally appear simple and sentimental, but when it is practiced with sincerity and purity, it is actually combines and synthesizes all other disciplines, bringing one to the summit of spiritual perfection. So, first 7 chapters of Chaitanya Charitamrita, they summarize the identity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his principal associates. Krishna Das, somehow like how he started writing Chaitanya Charitamrita and what happened and his, so that all. So Jiva Goswami offered Krishna Das the title Kaviraj, that is Kaviraj means the poet. And after reading this literary gem, Govinda Lilamrit, Krishna Das he wrote also Govinda Lilamrit. So he says that it could move, this writing could move even the stone to come to tears. Learned and austere practitioner and spotless character. Krishna Das he was deaf, dumb, illiterate, worldly minded, and lower than a worm on the stool. That is his humility, profound humility. But he is the jewel, topmost jewel among the Vaishnavas. And this Chaitanya Charitamrita is magnum opum, a literature which is universally recognized as the most authentic and authoritative biography of Chaitanya. And its sources, like as I told you, that Chaitanya Charitamrita from Raghunath Das Goswami, because he was spent 16 years with Sri Chaitanya and Jagannath Puri, and had close friendship with Swarup Damodar. So Swarup Damodar was his secretary. So he knew about everything about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this both together gave them all. So there is so it is like a desire tree. So it is both Tattva and Leela. Leela and Tattva, both are combined. It's a biographical narration and philosophical exposition to make for an entertaining and educational book. This writing makes the weighty philosophical precepts of the Gaudiya Vaishnavism and intelligence for reading from all walks of the life. It is like a desire tree, Bhakti Kalpataru. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed his like devotional expression and all this when he went to Gaya and he took a spiritual master. So it is very exalted book. And so there was a desire, like Prabhupada said, that how I could uplift these fallen souls, what I should do. Please make me dance as you like, make my words suitable for these mlechas to understand this Chaitanya Charitamrita, understand the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So by taking this genuine spiritual wisdom, people can flourish on all levels, physically, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. Sharing Krishna consciousness is considered highest welfare work, highest philanthropic work is share this bhakti practice to everybody, whomever you met. यारे देखो तारे कहो कृष्ण उपदेश हमारा आज्ञा है गुरु तारे देश भारत भूमि ते हेला मनुष्य जन्म यार जन्म सार्थक करी कर परोपकार. That you give welfare work to, that is the highest work for humanity at large. And Srila Prabhupada was chosen. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could have spread all over the world, he is God himself, but he left behind to his devotees who will take this practice and they become pure and not pure, they are pure already, but they could purify the whole world. And Srila Prabhupada is that Senapati Bhakta who spread this in every town and village of the world, chanting of my name. That is the desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That happened. So anyway, time is up. I will end here. If anybody has any comments or questions about this Vratrasur, how he became a demon, and then we talked about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how is his Channa avatar. We talked about Srila Prabhupada, how is the and what is the process of bhakti, what are the three main reasons of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to appear. His internal reason is the sweetness, to relish the sweetness. Krishna had to come as a Srimati Radharani. So his own sweetness, the Radharani's exalted position in serving, and another part is that how Radharani enjoys more than even the Krishna to whom she was serving. So she enjoys the most. So these are the three internal reasons. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Channa avatar came as his own devotee. So you can open if there is any comments, questions, or additions, subtractions, anything, please let us please.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Maharaj Ji.
My Dandavat Pranam to all of you.
We are eternally grateful to you. I'm a spellbound. I'm unable to talk. I was just writing down, and I hope I understood a little bit, but I'm really grateful to you. I would like all the respectful devotees to come forward and ask their respective questions to you. I won't take your much time. I'm short of words. Balram Prasad Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Balram Prabhuji, please ask your question. Please go ahead with your question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, this I could hear the whole nectar was flowing so nicely, Prabhu. I can feel that your purity was so great that it went to our hearts. It's
very fallen and impure, but anyway, you go ahead.
Prabhuji, one thought came. Lord Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radharani, but what was the purpose of Gadadhar Pandit's Gadadhar Pandit? What was the purpose of, because Radharani, he is already in the mood of Radharani, so what was the purpose of Gadadhar Pandit?
Very good question. These are the question and answers that really elaborate. I am thankful to you. Radharani, she externally also she has to be there to serve. She wants to serve Krishna and wants to observe from outside also. So service attitude, Krishna, Radharani cannot be separated from Krishna like she remained almost 100 years separated in Vrindavan. And Krishna went to Mathura and Dwarka. And so Mathura is not considered a part of Raj. Vrindavana Parityajya Adam Ekam na Gacchati. You may say that it is same Mathura Mandal, and that is the district place. Why Mathura is not a part of Raj? Raj means where the devotees are living or where there is loving devotees, and Mathura is a different mood of some awe and reverence, Aishwarya. And Dwarka has even more Aishwarya. So Krishna lives in Vrindavan, and now Radharani, to serve him, to close association so one can understand. Now you may say that he married to Lakshmi Priya, who is Lakshmi Devi herself, and Vishnu Priya. And Vishnu Priya is as another Bhu Devi, and she also comes as his wife, that they remained only for 1 or 2 years, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. So Radharani, yes, internally, but you can't see internally, and he has to come. Radharani has to come as Gadadhar Pandit to relish Srimad Bhagavatam along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's their pastimes. We cannot go more in depth why Gadadhar Pandit came. He was associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Navadvip as well as in Jagannath Puri also.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. You also mentioned that Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can understand the mind of Krishna, Bhagavatam, you can see activities of Krishna. So I did not read much Chaitanya Charitamrita, but mind of Krishna in what way, Prabhu? I just want to understand.
Because what Krishna likes, what Krishna wants of us, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being a devotee, he understood the mind and he wrote it, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, that this all the worldly opulences, it is all Maya, it is all external, it has nothing to do with our pure bhakti. person may be the poorest, just like I give the history of a lady whom Krishna said, okay, your cow may die. And then he gives so much. So people do not understand what really Krishna wants of us, but he elaborately, because people think in the modern world, if you get a lot of opulence, everything, then you are a devotee. Means they practice just to asking, but Krishna wants to surrender. Like he says in Bhagavad Gita, but no other incarnation just came and how to surrender. So he came as his devotee, that how to surrender to Krishna's will and giving up everything. And that is what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching, which Krishna himself did not teach. So he did not give it for 1000 Chaturyugi. There is 120, like this 28th Manvantar, and then on this in 28th Manvantar, and when there is a Vaivashwar Manvantar, then he came there. This is Vaivashwar Manvantar is going on. Sun God is the Manu Manvantar, and in 27th of the Chaturyugi, there are 71 Chaturyugi in one Manvantar. And one day of Brahma, there are 1000 Chaturyugis, and out of there are 14 Manus who rule on that time. And out of that 14, the 7th Manvantar, that is Vaivashwar Manvantar, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna comes, and following Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also comes. He did not distinguish. So it
Prabhu,
is
that's wonderful, Prabhu. I have one more question. Is that okay to ask?
Sure, please.
Prabhu, I had this thought. The end of Dwapara Yuga, Krishna came yada dahi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. So he came, he made sure that all the demons are killed, and in that way the Yudhishthira Maharaj, it was flourishing, it was very nice, everything was wonderful, because so many Akshoini Sainya, that means so many people died, so it was all back to normal. But what was the purpose of advent of Kali again? Because what's happening is you bring Kali again to disturb and conflict and whatnot. So it was maybe there is some reason behind why Krishna brought Kali again to disturb the whole world again, right? So that was kind of bothering me. I was thinking, why what is this? Then I was thinking, maybe I'm not against Krishna or anything. It's just like you raise the conflict and bring the solution, right? He wants to bring the solution, his holy name, but why he has to raise the conflict first of all? So that's the age of Kali Yuga, right, Prabhu?
Right.
So I was thinking, what was the purpose of Kali Yuga first of all, right? So
see, Krishna, there are 4 yugas: Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Krishna comes in at the end of Dwapar Yuga, and then he killed all these demons because earth was burdened. There were 4 kinds of, we read in this verse that 4 kinds of Duskritina, Mudha, they never surrender to Krishna. That Prapadyante, Namam Duskritano Mudha, Prapadyante Naradhama, Maya Parata Jnana, Asuri Bhavam Ashrita. So they cannot surrender that. That is their mentality. And Krishna does not want to force his love or the process. He does not force. Otherwise, we are like robots. Just a stone and you just force and you roll it over wherever you want. Then where is love? Love happens only when there is certain freedom. So Krishna is given a minute freedom. His Swarat means completely independent and fully free, but we have a little bit independence. We are subordinate and we don't accept our subordinate position. We think that I am God, I could do whatever I want, but we are so much limited. Even the tea is bothering us and we have to reach to the tea, or alcoholic want to go to the alcohol, or our mind may be on some women and we just think all the time like this. And Krishna does not want to change that. You have to practice, you have to sacrifice, you have to do something. And that is the activity. So Krishna just started to surrender to me, but how to surrender? That he did not teach. So he came his own in his own self to teach how to surrender as a devotee, his own devotee. So he's teaching that, and he brings all his paraphernalia. Just like when Krishna appears, then all other his father, mother, his friends, so many Dwadas Gopalas, and there's so many, they all come. Same thing when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, then all other personalities who were at the time of Krishna, they all come in different forms. So Radharani is there in the past time. So Gadadhar Pandit comes as, but he himself is Krishna and Radharani. Radharani, his bhav, his feeling, his dress, his color, everything is like Radharani, but inside he is Krishna. But now externally also, inside out, outside you are, but Radharani wanted to come as Gadadhar Pandit to relish Bhagavatam and serve Krishna externally. So he comes, and now you may say that why this Kali Yuga and why it is. That is the nature of Kali Yuga, that all the people who are demonic, who don't practice Krishna consciousness, they all come together in this age. Like after Parikshit Maharaj left, even after Krishna left this planet, Kali Yuga came. But it became more and more that at the time of Parikshit Maharaj, he was just like the Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was ruling. But the Kali came and he was damaging to the people. Means the cows, only a little bit little bit satya, truthfulness. That is how the business is going on. So you have to accept some truth. Otherwise, who will accept anything? You buy land and you may think, oh, it may be a fraud. And then you don't. So there has to be some truthfulness there. You order something on Google or something on, then you know that if I pay this, I will get this. Otherwise, there will be chaotic condition if nobody trusts. So there is certain truthfulness, but all other mercy and austerity and daya, cleanliness, it is all gone practically. Nobody is clean. It's only a little bit truthfulness is there. So people have to express. There are different kinds of people and mentality. And as I said, that Krishna does not want to force. So they all come in this age. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, he wants to purify and establish this process of devotional service for one day of Brahma that people could follow. So our first 10,000 years would be a golden age, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's effect would be there for 5,000, and then gradually it will decline and finish at the end, and it would be a more Kali Yuga. Because people want to remain like this. Means even if you tell people, don't go there, don't do this, but people who do it, once one can know that you surrender, give up everything, give up our attachment to your home, earth, jar, juru, jameen, your children. But who could give it up? Because we have been practicing this for millions of years, for so many lifetimes, and it cannot go away. One who is very much fortunate and who had done devotional service, they could give away from very beginning. But otherwise it takes certain times, some lifetimes. But the process is there. Krishna gives the process, how to surrender, how to become his pure devotee, how to have pure feeling, and then that's why he brings all these personalities of Panchatattva. And then they spread Krishna consciousness, and then his followers, Swarup Damodar, 6 Goswamis, and then later on Baldev Vidyabhushan, Krishna, all these things, and the literatures are there. He empowers the way how the bhakti should be to Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis and all the Goswamis, and they understood the mood or what it is, and they wrote immense literature. We can't read this all the Vedas and Upanishads, and so for the Kali Yuga they wrote especially all these books, and we should read in Prabhupada even more comprehended. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami did that. That all the literatures he put in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and then Prabhupada just put in his purport to Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we should be really sincere to read that. But how many people have read Chaitanya Charitamrita? So we talk about like, oh, very high, lofty words and everything, but we don't want to follow it. We are so stubborn, don't want to take it. We know the result is so great, but still we are attached to puny things and want to do that, show our name, fame, I'm great, and we cannot give it up, our attachments to this material world. So by reading more and more and associating with devotees of similar mind, one can give up all these attachments and come to pure love of Godhead, which is very rare. Even in Krishna says to Sun God also, Manushyanam Shastreshu Kashin Yatapi Siddhaye Kashin Yatatam Api Siddhanam Kashin Mam Veti Tatvata. To know Krishna is not that easy. We may just chant and we say, I know Krishna, but our mind is so many places at others. So how to do Ekehi Kurunandana, that you just focus your mind on Krishna, which is not that easy because we are so much variegated, so much we like to go out of this Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, eat, dance, take prasad, but how many people are doing? Although the process is simple, but our mind is complicated. To train that, we have to gradually take to this process.
Yeah, many times we hear that Karishya Vachanam Tava, but how we don't. So
yes.
Thank you, Prabhu.
You accepted that, but are we accepting that?
Yeah, that's a $1 million question.
Very nice explanation. Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Balram. Thank you, Balram Prabhuji. Maharajji, we have one more question from respected Radha Vallabh Prabhuji. He's asking about the surrendering process. Could you please explain about how to surrender to Krishna?
Sarvadharma, give up other religiosity. Take to only fully Krishna conscious. Surrendering process is to follow the instruction what is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the scriptures, even what he is saying, follow the spiritual master. If you are surrendered to your spiritual master, then all the import of the Vedas, they come. See, this is not a knowledge by reading and understanding, or it is the process that is divine way. Divine way means Krishna gives you in your heart that Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mam Upayanti Te, that I will give you the intelligence by which you can come to me. So that intelligence comes from Krishna's mercy, and that Krishna's mercy flows through the Guru Parampara. So if we accept Prabhupada and Parampara, then it does come through that way, not auto. Like Prabhupada, people initially period of Srila Prabhupada, everybody so much surrendered that they will work 18 hours without taking much food, much rest, but they will serve Srila Prabhupada to his word. Like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going through this Chankazi's place, then thousands of people were following. And then this king asked Sanatana and Rupa Goswami that who is he? It looks like a god. His incarnation is Allah. He said, no, he's a simple mendicant. Just people follow. Because he did not want that this king may disturb Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And later on they requested that when he traveled to Holy Dham, don't go with so many followers. So he came back to Vrindavan and Jagannath Puri. Then he went to Vrindavan alone, just with his one person, Balabhadra Bhattacharya. So he came in the end that way. So same thing, that people do not understand all these imports, and the surrender process is to practice Bhakti Yoga under the direction of the Parampara, Guru Parampara. You have to take that, how they did it. And that's why there are 12 Mahajanas are given in Srimad Bhagavatam, and then this Parampara has been given, that how these 6 Goswamis, and that because the Tattva is hidden in the heart of the devotees. So if you follow elevated devotee, and then he can, just people who who served Prabhupada in the beginning years, they got a lot of mercy of Srila Prabhupada, and they could do all these things. How to really, they did not know anything, but they could perform the devotional service by like 17 volumes in 2 months to print, publish, have all the paintings. It's not an easy task to go to, sometime even 16 years or 17-year boy, he said, you go to Germany and preach. Now, no money, nothing, he does not know anybody, but they could do it. Go to London. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj sent some sannyasis, 3 sannyasis. They went to England, but they could not sow the seed of Krishna consciousness in them. But when Prabhupada sent his neophyte devotees who were pretty new, and then they could establish a center, get this manor, and start a temple also, Radha Landaneshwar, and Prabhupada went there and he had a Rath Yatra. And so in this way, it is by parampara, by the energy of the spiritual master, that one can follow, but they have to surrender completely. And the surrender word that you see, Sharanagati, there are 6 limbs of Sharanagati. Anukulasya Sankalpa, that everything, your activity should be according to what? Anukul, to Krishna consciousness. Pratikulasya Varjanam. Rakshakshati Vishwaso, that he should feel that Krishna will protect me, and Gopatratva, and then think that Krishna is my maintainer and provider. He's like my pati. We are all prakriti to be enjoyed by Krishna. Then Atma Nikshepa, the fall down like feel very humble. Atma Nikshepa Karpanya, Shada Vir Sharanagati. These are the 6 processes of Sharanagati. So to do Sharanagati means these 6 things should be included in your practice of Krishna consciousness. See, it is there in Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem, but without the process, just like if there is a gold brick is in the mud for millions of years, it would become like seeing like a muddy, it is mud. But then when you cleanse it, so this Krishna consciousness is cleansing process. Chanting, dancing, serving with your wholeheartedly, not really thinking that what I will, means everything should be done for Krishna's pleasure. Like this Raghunath Das Goswami, he surrendered to Loknath Goswami because he thought that yes, I will make you my spirit. And he took a vow that I would not give any initiation to anybody. Loknath Goswami was the first one. Bhugarva Goswami and Loknath Goswami, they went first to Vrindavan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked them to go there. Before even this Rup Saratan, they went there. And so Raghunath Das Goswami was a son of a king, Krishnadas, Raja Krishnadas. But he would, how to get the mercy of the Guru. So he was cleaning the path and throwing the stool or taking out of the area. So he was taking such a menial servant. He will put water or the mud to wash hands. Before even he would wake up at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock, but he will wake up earlier, Raghunath Das Goswami, and do all these things. So this menial, anybody who joined ISKCON in the beginning years, they had to do all the pot cleaning and toilet cleaning and floor cleaning. And they never employed any sweeper or any, they will protect, they will do everything. So that kind of surrender has to be, from the mind has to be there, that is my purifying process. And they do all these menial services. And so they become advanced, but because of the effect of Maya and previous conditioning, some people, they change their mind. Let me enjoy, I have done these services. But they will get the benefit. Whatever anybody has done, even 1%, they will start from the next 1.1% in the next life. Krishna will give that. Swalpam api asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. That even a little path on this, if you traverse, then the greatest danger of falling in the 8.4 million species of life would not be there. You will take birth as a human being, and then in the house of a devotee or in an aristocratic family, that you don't have to worry about your maintenance. So Krishna arranges all these things for us to come, but he wants to see our surrender. He wants to see that we want ourselves to practice this Krishna consciousness, not by force, by from inside. Just the force does not work. Like I will give you a little example. One rich man was a married man, his wife was there, and they had a servant. So servant did everything practically, nice food, nice cooking, but she was restricted, she was not free. He will give some salary. So his love for the wife who would not do much was more, because she was given a little independence. Even if she will take some money from his pocket, oh, she's my wife, she thinks me as her own, so it's okay. But if the servant would have done, the dasi would have done something like that, who is serving much more than his wife, then he will punish her, or he will call the police. Why? Because there is no law without some independence. That's why Krishna gives us some independence to practice Krishna consciousness. Means we have to do it by our heart, not by superficially outwardly. Outwardly, one can do, a servant can do much more work. But inwardly, it has to be, you have to surrender. You have to put your mind and do according to the desire of the Supreme Lord. Anukula Sankalpa. That's very few people who do it. And that is bhakti and surrender process.
It is a divine answer. There is one follow-up question from Radha Vallabh Prabhuji again, and he's asking that he is chanting and he has increased his chanting, but the quality of chanting is not improving or not coming. Could you please explain or give a suggestion to increase the chanting, the quality of the chanting?
Very beautiful
Even though
question. I really appreciate and pay my respect to Radha Vallabh Prabhu, because bringing this kind of questions and answers, that really enlivens. Even Sukhdev Goswami was giving thanks to Parikshit Maharaj for asking a special question. Same thing Maitreya and Vidur in Bhagavatam. So Maitreya Rishi, although Maitreya is like the spiritual master for Vidur, but he will give thanks to Vidur for asking this question. So Sukhdev Goswami is asking, then Shaunak Rishi and Suta Goswami. So there are so many questions and answers. And the person who is replying, he feels he enjoyed because such topics of Krishna's discussion, anywhere where there is topics of discussion about Krishna comes up, that's a glorious, because you discuss about Krishna. People ask the question, is there so many material questions? How I could win this lottery or I could do this business. There are all there, but it is ending in nothing, because everything would be finished one day, and according to his destiny, one gets something or one may not get anything. So that is something completely under the law of karma. But bhakti is under Krishna's directly supervision. To devotees, if, like Prabhupada gives the example that this Akbar Barshan is asking why your God has to come to this material world. He has so many servants, but he comes personally, just like, so he made a statue of his son, of Akbar, and he threw it in the river, and he jumped it with all the dresses and everything. He had many servants there, many guards there. But why did he go? Because that's my son. So we are all children of Krishna, and Krishna protects his children if we are lover of God. If we are not lover, then let it go according to the karma. He started karmic reaction, and he did according to your karma from the previous lives, and according to how much you are surrendered to Krishna, Krishna protects you. So Krishna is protecting his devotees directly. It is his intervention is there, and he helps them to achieve. If we step one step, then Krishna says, oh, my son is want to come to me. Let me go 100 feet. So he will go 100 steps to come to him. Just like a son wants to lift a heavy weight, and he can't move it. But his father comes from the side and lifts. But child thinks that I have done it. So every activity is done by Krishna, but we don't really give credit to Krishna. भगवान आपकी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है. But I'm thinking that I'm the doer, and that is our. We should always give credit to Krishna, because it is really by his giving intelligence. Prabhupada always give credit, never took that credit that he has done anything. Although he did so much preaching, so much activity, so many temples, so many schools, so many farmhouses, so many book printing and paintings, and established formally in just 10 years, from 66 to 77, you may say, in 11 years. That is impossible. Na bhuto na bhavishyati. Did not happen in the past, and will not happen for another millennium or another time, but that is how he did it. He never took credit, and we should not take credit to anything that we do. Everything happens by Krishna's mercy, and we give him the prominence that he is the one doer. If we accept him as the Sarva Karana Karana, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karana, his cause of everything. So we should give credit to him rather than taking our. We are just a menial, just like, but we are not robots. We have a heart, and we have to give the heart. Krishna is looking that we give heart to Krishna, not just externally. Like this lady gave, means whatever they have, even a little bit, you give it. Sudama had nothing in his house. His clothes were torn, but see how Krishna was merciful. He did not apparently give him, but when he reached there, he gave him everything, and he was not attached to anything. He gave everything in Krishna's service. He gave Prabhupada so much. He was the richest man one time, but Prabhupada used it in Krishna's service to spread Krishna consciousness, to bring the fallen souls back to Krishna's lotus feet. What is the great thing you could do for a man? If he misses something, then give that thing that you have to Krishna back, or to the owner back. That is the great service. Not just leave it there, cover it up. No, but bring whatever is missing, you give it to the owner. So our real owner is Krishna for everything. So we should give it ourselves to Krishna. So I hope that the surrender process is not that easy, because we have to give up all the whimsies and all the attachments. Like we were talking about Putreshana, Dhaneshana, Istriyeshana, and Jamin Ki liye Eshna. So we have Eshna means the attachment. Kamahi nari pyari jini, lobahi prijini nam, timi raghunatha nirantara, vasam hriday Shri Ram. That my Lord, just like a kami, a lusty man has a desire for a woman to enjoy. A greedy man wants all the money. He just thinks, where is money? So, kamahi nari pyari, lobi, a greedy man, priyadam, he wants the money. Timi Raghunath, the same way that my mind should be attracted to you, my Lord, please make my mind in that way, so I could surrender to you completely. So we have to pray, we have to work. It is not automatic. Otherwise, where is the activity? We have given these indriyas, senses. Rashikesha, Sivanam Bhakti, Uttama. Uttam Bhakti is using all the senses in service of the Lord, to the master of the senses. He is really master. He is giving energy, but we misuse it. And misuse means just get attached to everything in the material world, thinking that yes, I am the doer, this is for my enjoyment, and then we get trapped by the material nature. So Maya is very, very strong, and we have to understand the strength of Maya and act accordingly. Okay?
Yes, Guru Maharaj Ji, and there is one request that could you please share your email ID or any contact so that the devotees could contact you again.
Okay, so my email ID is Samik Rishi, SAMIK RSI. Prabhupada has given me this name, Samik Rishi Das. So Samik Rishi at yahoo.com. So SAMIK, there is no A. SAMIK, K like kite or king, or Krishna, Samik Rishi RSI. It is all lowercase at the rate yahoo.com. YAHOO.com, and my WhatsApp number is 973. I'm giving you my India number because I will be back on 15th to Khargon temple, where we have built a temple, and I'm looking for devotees who could come and serve there wholeheartedly, but completely independent, without any political agenda. You could serve. That is near Indore, Madhya Pradesh. And that WhatsApp number is 905-851-9771. Okay?
Yes, Maharaj Ji. Maharaj Ji, I have one question.
Okay.
I want to know your routine, how you practice Krishna consciousness every day, and how you prioritize your life, handling so much, and I just wanted to know about you.
Oh, okay. You could know more about me if you come to Khargon and serve there. But I'm just a simple, ordinary man. Whatever Krishna, by his mercy, whatever comes in my way. So I wake up early, sometimes 1 or 2 o'clock early in the morning, chant some rounds, go to temple, because we have temple. I live upstairs. The temple is down. Not on the temple area, but around area. So we live just one floor up in Khargon, where most of my time I spend in Madhya Pradesh, and then come Mangal Aarti. Sometimes may not be, there is so much other work or other reading, or I have to give the class, so I have to prepare. So I remain there. I try to read, and the reading has to be very much concentrated. Means your mind should be right there. Even when it was 1973, April 1, I met to Srila Prabhupada, and he mind while chanting, because I went to US from India to US on 1971. Very few Indians were there. And so we heard about Prabhupada. His ISKCON was in Philadelphia, where I went. So we went to ISKCON temple, joined reading Bhagavad Gita and Back to Guarded magazine that inspired, and I had an association of senior devotees like Ravindra Swarup Prabhu, and so his family and my family became very close together. We are of the same age, and so anyway, devotee association has to be there. We invite anybody, then lay down what other devotees could do, whatever things. If there are enough people, there are not enough devotees, only 4 or 5. So they are all engaged in Diti service. And so there may not be Bhagavatam class, but I like to have Bhagavatam class early morning, which is in every temple, same temple routine. 7:30 is Guru Puja, 8 o'clock is Bhagavatam, but if it is not there, they do. So we read and then manage for all the affairs of temple construction. Some government has given us a 79-acre land nearby that you could join with temple, because they like the temple is so nice, so beautiful. So they wanted to have some more tourism. Their purpose was tourism and more people and their name. So they said that we will develop the garden and we will open the gate. But if you could give a murti, or murti, it is like not like a statue, but it is a of Krishna. So they wanted, some people wanted to be that there is no big a statue of Krishna like 120 feet or so, but it is very costly. So, but they are developing the this land of almost 79 acres, which will become a part of our temple, which is 42 acres. Land is there and plots, and people could build there. I'm an ordinary man trying to do the whatever the best, so more and most people could come. We give Sunday feast, just Khichdi Prasad. There is hardly any sponsors, or there is hardly any, we just feed like Khichdi Prasad. So it may cost $200 or so, or even less than that. And so we serve that, and people come because of the beauty of the temple. But I like to give little bit Krishna consciousness in the evening. People, they gather together, and Sunday there is a lot of people, sometimes 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people. And we want to celebrate all the festival that should be celebrated, like Gaur Purnima is coming. So more, and it's an auspicious time because it is atmosphere is surcharged with Krishna consciousness. If you do little bit activity on these days, its effect is 1,000 times or more even. So one should do follow all this Ram Navami, Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima, the lifting of the Govardhan Hill. So all these things, I want to build a Govardhan Hill. People go to Giriraja, Vraj, but you could have some deity of Krishna lifting Govardhan and worship him as Giriraj Dharan. In this way, I do some investment also, although I retired at the age of 50 years. But then there is so much expenses, so much loans to build this temple. So I have to do and take some advice. And anyway, I'm any ordinary person, any business, what they do, I do that. But you put Krishna, you don't have to give up anything, but take to Krishna consciousness. That is the most important part. That you put Krishna in the center. That's the important part of your all the activity, and give credit to him that it is by your mercy all these things are happening. Okay, I hope you answer.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. I've been waiting to ask you the question, but I thought I'll give the chance to the other devotees. A wonderful class, Prabhuji, wonderful class. But I mean, it's not a question, but I just wanted to ask you, like you have given so many valuable instruction in regards to how to advance in Krishna Bhakti. And I always remember my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami's quote, always he says this slok like man mana bhava man bhakto madhyachi man namaskaru man ivas yasi satyam te pratijana priyo sime. But we always like to surrender, and and like you said, we are not the doers, right? We don't do anything. It's all Krishna. He does it. But we always, when we talk, we always use the word I, me, and this is what we have heard we should try to avoid. But I'm not able to understand how do we avoid that word like I did this today, like, when we are in the temple today, like, I think that brings our ego as well, right? When we say I, and me, So I just want to know how do we avoid, or how do we phrase it, like, so that it should be with humility, like, but not with ego. So that was my question. Like, we are not the doers, but every time, every single day, we always address that, like, I have done this, or me, And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I still have that ego then, if I'm using that word when it comes to spiritual things.
Yeah, very nice question. I, me, and mine.
Yes.
Means everything that belongs, that I serve is mine.
छुटकारा नहीं मिल पा रहा है प्रभु जी.
बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने कि mine means anybody that I survey, my wife, my home, my children, my wealth, my position, my duty, my everything, that is my I, me, and mine. We think that anything that is connected to me is all mine, or it is me, myself. If our car gets a little dent, if you have Rolls-Royce, an expensive car, and somebody hits it, a little bit dent, even a little, but I got hurt. But nothing happened to me, it happened to the car. So we take it, all these things, our possession, as if I am that. And we have to give up that feeling. And so we have to put Krishna in the center of our all the activity. If Krishna is the doer, if Krishna is doing everything, and we should give credit, but that would happen gradually by chanting the holy name. Even if you say, I have done it, there is nothing wrong, but by the mercy of Krishna, by mercy of my Guru Maharaj, by mercy of all the devotees who are so that I could do that. Otherwise, I can't do anything. We are going, because where the intelligence comes, where the ingredient comes, where my strength comes in doing something, that all comes. Like Arjun gave all the credit to Krishna, and Krishna, although he was killing everything, but he says, and when they ask Barbaric, who killed? He says that I was seeing only Krishna who is killing everybody. Even in Virat Roop, you see that everybody, all the other than 5 Pandavas, everybody is dashing into the mouth of Mahavishnu. You saw that so much fire is coming and so much water and so many. It's a very scene that you can't see it. Even Arjun could not see it. He became terrified by seeing that Virat Roop. So same thing, this material world is like a Virat Roop, but we should not really, we should accept the sweet part of Krishna who is like us. Krishna says, say, when I come in the form of human form, people deride me. Oh, this man is God? How he could be? But not that we should accept anybody as God. He should have the characteristic of God. When I come in Manushya Roop, people deride me. Only but devotee can understand Krishna. So if we become a devotee and serve as instrument for Krishna, Prabhupada never took credit for himself. He said, it is my Guru Maharaj. So he gives this ultimately to Krishna. He is giving credit to Krishna. And in reality, Krishna is doing everything.
Correct.
Okay, so gradually by practicing and thinking, it is thinking in the heart. What outside you say, it is different. But what is inside, that is the most important part. Our mind should be on Krishna, focused on Krishna, and we should understand that it is by Krishna's mercy. The thought comes to do something by Krishna, and energy is given by Krishna, and completion is done by Krishna. So everything is, from everywhere you give credit to Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, I think valuable instructions you have given today, to advance in Krishna Bhakti. Yeah, we do our chanting, everything. Chanting is very important. I know that. For me, I think with chanting only, I could feel and I could, experience that bhakti coming into me and growing each day, but only the thing which I just mentioned, doers, like we are not the doers. We should never Yeah, that I think that explains everything what you said just now. Thank you so much, and brilliant class, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you for asking wonderful questions.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Aditi Mataji, for asking wonderful question. Thank you, Guru. Thank you, Maharajji. I want to read some comments which are very divine in nature. Indulika Mataji is saying, thank you so much, Maharajji, and such a wonderful class with many heartfelt instructions for us. Dandavat pranam. Also, Radha Vallabh Prabhuji is saying, beautifully explained, koti koti Dandavat pranam to you. And Shiromani Mataji is saying, very nectarian and beautiful class. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranam. And a few more. I would like to offer my obeisances as well, and I request you to give your association again. And thank you so much for giving your enlightening class today and giving wonderful instructions. So many examples with so many instructions involved in it. I'm getting a lot of questions, but I'll ask you later. And I would like to request any of the devotees, if you have a last minute question, please go ahead. Else we'll end the class.
We can end, Mataji. 19 already. Prabhuji has to go.
Yeah. Let us offer our obeisances to Maharajji. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa
Thank you for your wonderful association.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for such a beautiful class. Very
Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Gauranga, Gauranga,
Gauranga.